Hello, good evening to you all. I hope you guys are doing well. Actually, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Makaraja mashama phone you there. So I hope mekata mi lang kuda mi aba assignment your like like the grades me receive blah I'm a shama ba to your mistake you I'm a shama like everything that feedback ya kata mana hoba ya kata mi learn kurenchi and you learn from those mistakes and we to ainya bana we just learn and go back, and if you owe me a mistake like me I try you watch lesson more but excuse me akbo mistake you know as wrong chuma. So I mean most of you made some mistakes that I feel strongly that you guys need to go back and go back and sorry, there is responding to a text message. Go back and cover a lot of things. We might even get the structure of HTML file, HTML structure. I mean, might get your please go and study it, okay? Because I see some of you including more than one body in your assignments. Please go figure that out, solve it, okay? All right, let me move on. I don't want to spend too much time on this. Okay, so this is my assignment, like the solution to the assignment. I mean, this is the way I did it. Okay, the best. I like how way, but then you kata unyewe musrom ya kata mi leta mi akpo mi azan the car as an example. Then mi akwa continue akpo mi home so strong. So I like my way. I need my way. But now my split. I need my gonna but if I can open it in a browser. Okay, here. I hope it's clear enough for everyone to see. So my split your website are into different sections. So you can see this it has like what 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 sections. Section Bantua, I put the background there, and then I added this text. And then the second section I'll put a background, then I add this text and background text and background, and then a few things, and then here too the same way. So so these are the sections. Section okatanya lafia. Akweda. Section Bantua, okay. And then text text I put the text in a div, right? Div here. Then I must some style here. Okay, I'll make a time code so I shouldn't waste a lot of time on this. So I'm gonna create another section, I'm gonna create another section, and then I create a last section where I put the footer. Okay. So ni me strong by the way me CSS sound like assignment here. I'm writing a lot of CSS. Okay, this is all CSS. All the styles are all CSS. Okay, this is CSS. This is CSS. This is CSS. This is all of this orange text is CSS. See, this is another CSS, right? It's another CSS. Every text you see after style is a CSS. Now, there are 3 ways I can add CSS to over HTML. Okay, so first one in your inline that means you put your CSS right at where your element is. Okay, this is inline. That means in line where your element is. Now there's another one which is in document, where some of you way. So in your head, if my keyboard will start working, in your head you will say style, right? And then inside this style you put your CSS. For example, Najibe select like one element. There are 3 ways you can also select an element and put your style to it. So you can call the element by just the name of the type of element. So number, but here if I put here a section, right? If I just say section, okay, where is that? If I just say section and then I do curly braces like that, then I say then I will say what? Let's use for example this one, background color. Okay. Oh wait, no, that is background size, and then it is cover, right? This is for our image. You can move all of this text here. You can move all of this text here. For example, let's say this section, I will say background image. So let's use this. Let's say background image. All right, and then what we have to do is the same as here, right? So we'll put all of this information here. Okay, let me just copy this and paste it here. All right, so it's the same way of doing this. So so this one, background size. Then I'll come here and I'll say background size. Sorry. Then I'll say background size. Then I'll say cover, semicolon. Then I'll say height. Then I'll say 400 pixels. Then I will say what else? That's all we added for that one. So now the problem here in Yabana, since I'm referring to section, it will apply it to all of the sections, right? It will apply to all of the sections. So this would ruin our website, but this is the way to do it. If you have something, let's say I want all my text on the website to be, let's say, yellow. Okay, let me use that as an example actually. So I'll take out this one. Let's say all my divs. Let me just use div. Okay, so I'll say div. I'll use the name of the element. Okay, use the name of the element followed by curly braces, and then put inside the curly braces the style you want. So let's say I want all my div. See these divs, right? I have my favorite web page, my plans, hello there. They are all, I put them all in divs, and even in my name they are all in divs. So if I want to change their color, I can just say color. Then I will use maybe, let's say, this color, aqua, right? Now these 3 levels of application of CSS it also has power. So they also have, each of them have power. So inline one has more power than the in document one. Some of that. That means if you put CSS style here, and then you put one inside your style tag up here in the header, element it has precedence, it has more power. So only the one in the element will work. This one will not work. For example, I put style here for this div here, right? And this div here, the color is white, right? And then here I'm saying the color is aqua. Now if I open my web browser right now, the color will still remain white, because this one I set up here as white has more power. Okay, so let's see. Let me just open up my browser and then refresh this. You see there's nothing happened because the style element here has more power. Okay, so if I remove the style element here right now and I save, okay, then I refresh my page. Now you see all the CSS, inline CSS is lost, but then the color also changed to aqua. So that's what I'm trying to show you, that when you put a style, a CSS style inside your div in your in document style element here, the ones you put here will have more power than this one. Okay, all right. So I will say, for example, let me just make let me just write this here to make it clear to you guys. So for example, inline comes first, okay, followed by in document, followed by external. So we are going to learn external also. Okay, make with that. So the inline comes first, followed by in document, and then followed by external. So we just learn how to do the in document one, where we put all our CSS in a style sheet, a style element. Sorry. So I can use any elements I have here. Okay, so let me say I can say all my li elements can be white, so instead of blue. Right now, let me see, right now they are all blue, right? I can just call my li here curly braces, then I'll say color, then I'll say white, right? So so right now the style list style is like none here, right? This is not related to this one because what I'm saying here, color, is not used here. If I use color here, this color here will override this color. So if, for example, if I say color and then I say red, this red color will take precedence, will create the effect inside the inside the website, but this one will have effect on these ones that do not have color. Ayo le fia have color le CSS style le fia. This color will have effect on them. Kake the computer power color le inline one like example a fia na, then this one does not have effect. So let me start near website afia. You see that all of these ones will change, but this one will not change. So let me save that and let's refresh. Okay, even it will not even take any effect because I have a style here and it's overwritten all of these things. So that's why you're not saying this one is not working or some of that. So if you have style you want to put on your element, the best way is not to put it here, because here I fear you have to repeat yourself. Look at how the number of times I have to do this one. List style, list style, list style, list style, list style. Now let me tell you another advice. If a computer program, you find yourself repeating the same code, then there's a problem. So what you have to do is find a way to write the code one time and use it in multiple places. Okay, match in your window. Let me repeat that again. Write code there, writing, probably you are repeating yourself many times. You have to think about which way can I use a more kajima today. Nama write code here one time and I will use anywhere I want. For example, if I want to change this, if I want all of Stalakata is using the same thing. Using the same thing. All I have to do now is come here and inside inside this li I should just say list style, right? And then I should say none here, right? Then if I do that, all of this is no more needed. All of this is no more needed. Include that. So if you wanna, I just have to do this one time, and then I will apply it to all of this. But it will apply to any li in this document. That is the thing. But what if I want to specifically apply something here, put something here at the top in the style element, but apply it to just one of these elements, right? What if I want to do that? Okay, the best way now when you're gonna use two things. You use either of two things. You either use a class name, which is the name you want to give a group of elements. So I can call this one any name I want. I'll just say my list. Okay, and if I use, okay, so or I can say name. I can just use name directly. Okay, oh no, actually ID. So I can use ID directly. So I can also say this. Now name and class and idea, they are similar, but they are selected different. Like if I say select, means how do you select it here? Okay, in here, right? So I will say for ID you use pound sign. So if I say pound my list, that means I have just selected this ID. Okay, so anything I put here, if I say color, whatever, antique white, okay, if I say that, then I'm specifically referring to just this element. Okay, now if I want to use a class, the class name instead of ID name, I have to change this one to dot. Okay, so what is the class name? Is my list. So dot my list. Here I can still use color and use any color I want. So I'm using class name or ID, and here in the styler you have to use dot or you have to use the pound, right? Hold on, let me so you either use the pound or you use the dot, and that will select the ID. Okay, and if you want to select the class, you use dot. Okay, all right. So now we learn two ways you can use CSS in your HTML file. Miss Rombona, you can put it in line like here, or you can put it in the document like up in the head within the style tag, and call the item by the element name, which is here. Here I will say section, or here I'll say div, like we have div here. So it will apply this to any div it sees inside the document. All of this div will be will change to aqua. The color will be aqua. All right, the same way the li, it will look for all li's in the document. But if you want a specific element, you have to give the element a class name or an ID name. We'll learn which the best ways to use class name and ID name later, but just know that there are two ways. You can use class name or ID name. Now class name is dot the class name. ID is pound the ID name, like here, pound my list, which is my list here. This ID right here, right? This ID right here, my list. Now dot my list. Let me just say, yeah, my list. So here for the class name, I'm using dot the class name. Okay, and then I'm adding whatever I want to add. So this is how you do it. Now another way is actually using the .css file. You remember we are using a .html file. So let me create a new file. I'll just call it, I'll save it as Lesson5 css.css. Okay, we are just learning about CSS, so I'll put it inside my here. All right, then I'll save it here. So now we have a CSS file. The CSS file we have here is near me called the style element inside the HTML document is the same thing that you put here. So I can say if I'm looking for all, if I want to put something in all the sections, I'll just say section, then I'll say here, then I will give it any color. So I can say I want the color to be beige, right? Boom. That applies to all the sections, right? But so how do we connect this section and the other one we have? Where did my other file go? So we have section here. So let me just put out another one, div, and I'm gonna say background color is gonna be this color, and then I'm gonna use a pound sign to just look for something with the I'll use a pound just to look for something with an ID. So I will say text align, and then I will say center. All right. Okay. So now we have. Oh, sorry. Let me minimize this a little bit. So now we have this CSS document. Okay. Remember, it's dot. It ends with dot CSS in the name here. Dot CSS. Remember, our first document that is dot HTML, right? This one is dot CSS. That means it's a CSS file. Dot HTML means it's an HTML file. So how do we bring these two documents? How do we join them? We join them by using a link element in the CSS document. So let me go here. Let me see if I can find. Oh my gosh, why is this thing messing up like this? Okay, let me just open it. Let me use solution. We are dealing with solution. Okay, yeah. So here, so if you have a .css file, just you don't need this, right? You take out all of this, right? So now let's see how we can connect that file. So we'll say we use a link tag, right? And inside this link tag, I hate this. Inside this link tag, we'll call relation, okay? Relation. This relation, it's what it's asking us what type of file we are trying to link, and what you have to type here is style sheet. Okay, type style sheet here. Then now we want to see where is the style sheet. So I will say, what did we call it? We call it assignment 1. I think it was lesson 5 /css.css. That's the file. Okay, so this is how you link the two files. So now every thing we wrote inside our .css file will affect this document. Now the best way that you have your separate CSS file, so that if you have any changes you want to make, you go to that file and change it. What if you have 1,000 lines here? You have to be looking through here trying to find one thing to change? No. But if you have a document, a CSS document, you just have to go to that document, and this is how you link a CSS document to your HTML. It will make sense once we start going forward bit by bit. It will make sense why these things happen. Remember, you have to use the link element, put a relation there. What kind of file this is? What kind of relationship will this file have with our HTML? It's a style sheet. Style, like here, style sheet. Now, href is just telling us where the file is. So it's in the same folder as my HTML document. So I just use lesson5 css.css. That's the full name of the file. If the file was inside some image like here, I will use the full path of the image. Usually people put the CSS file inside another folder called style. So if that is the case, then I will say style slash lesson5 css.css, but I'm not cutting any folder more, so I'll just go direct to that file. So this is how you use CSS. You can use CSS inline, like here. You can use it inside inside a style element like this, and call the element you want. For example, if I want a p tag, I'll just say p. If I want all p tags, then I'll just say p. All the p tags, their color should be white. See, it's that easy. So all the p tag. But if you want to link a CSS file, which is the best way to go about it, is to put it inside this link and apply all your CSS in that file, and they will apply to all the elements here. Remember, we also learned about class name and ID name, right? That's how you do it. Now, for you to practice, go and take your assignment here and submit them. Take that assignment and try to remove all your style from the HTML and put them inside a new file you call as assignment1.css. Then put all your CSS inside that file and link it, and see if everything works the same way it works when you put them in the HTML file. Okay, this one is getting too long. Let's shut it for now. Talk to you later. Bye.